Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a trip, literally, back to 1966 to dissect the debut album from the Mothers of Invention, Freak Out. An album that didn't just push boundaries, it obliterated them. Let's talk about it. This album was released in June of 1966 on MGM Verve Records. It's often hailed as one of rock's very first concept albums. A concept album is when the songs mean more collectively than they do individually, illustrating concepts or emotions or happenings. And this concept was a satirical smorgasbord skewering American pop culture and the burgeoning freak movement of Los Angeles. But merely calling it a concept album is like saying Salvador Dali dabbled in paint. This was a debut album, a double debut album, the first double album, a bold move that screamed, "We're here, we're weird, deal with it." Before we dive deeper into Freak Out, let's unravel the origins of the term Freak Out and its colorful connection to the LA art scene. In the early 1960s, Los Angeles was a melting pot of artistic experimentation and countercultural movements. In the middle of this vibrant backdrop, there was a group of free-spirited individuals who embraced unconventional, at the time, lifestyles and artistic freedom. Leading this wild pack was a sculptor named Vito Palekis and his wife Sue, who owned a boutique that sold the first hippie clothing available in Los Angeles. Vito was known for his bohemian and innovative dance moves. His partner was a guy named Carl Franzoni, who was more popularly known as Captain F for his uninhibited demeanor. They formed a troupe of dancers and artists who became known as freaks or freakers. Now, this group was renowned for their free-form dancing at clubs along the Sunset Strip, just captivating people with their uninhibited movements and flamboyant attire. Their performances were less about choreography and more about spontaneous expression, embodying a philosophy of living authentically and embracing one's individuality. Something I think we should all get behind. Palekis and Franzoni's influence extended beyond the dance floor. They cultivated a community that challenged societal norms and celebrated artistic freedom. Among those inspired by this movement were the GTOs, Girls Together Outrageously, a group of young women who personified the freak scene. They were managed by Frank Zappa, and the GTOs were a fusion of performance art and rock and roll, blending music with theatricality in ways that defied convention. Their association with Vito and Carl highlighted the meshing of the freak scene and the experimental music landscape that was just starting. The term freak out itself was popularized by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. In this context, to freak out meant to liberate oneself from societal constraints, to explore the fringes of creativity without inhibition. The Freak Out album showcased Zappa's innovative compositions and also served as a manifesto for the freak movement, encouraging listeners to embrace their inner weirdness. The phrase freak out transcended its literal meaning. It evolved into a cultural rallying cry to those who sought to define norms and celebrate individuality and eccentricity. It encapsulated a mindset that valued artistic exploration and personal authenticity. And this is an idea that continues to influence creative communities today. There was a group called the Soul Giants. After a guitar player left, Frank Zappa joined and quickly took over and became the musical director. He steered the band into uncharted avant-garde waters. The Mothers lineup during the freakout period was Frank Zappa, guitarist, a vocalist, and the mad genius orchestrating this whole circus. Ray Collins was the lead singer and harmonica player. Jimmy Carl Black was the drummer, and he also famously always introduced himself as the Indian of the group. Roy Estrada played bass. He also later joined Little Feat. And Elliot Ingber was the guitar player. Elliot later joined a band called the Fraternity of Man, and also later played with Captain Beefheart, another Zappa crony. Freakout kicks off with Hungry Freak's Daddy, a scathing critique of American pop culture wrapped in a catchy melody. It's followed by I Ain't Got No Heart, a song where Zappa flips the love song trope on its head and declares emotional bankruptcy with a big smile. The album meanders through various genres. Go Cry on Somebody Else's Shoulder parodies doo-wop, and Who Are the Brain Police ventures into eerie psychedelic sound collage, making you question both the establishment and your own sanity. Then there's Trouble Every Day, which was a comment on the Watts riots that happened the previous year. The avant-garde piece de resistance of this LP is The Return of the Son of Monster Magnet. This nearly 12-minute long odyssey closes the album, leaving listeners baffled but mesmerized. One of my favorite songs on the LP is You're Probably Wondering Why I'm Here, which was inspired by many of their performances in so-called straight clubs, where non-freaks would just gaze stupidly at them, wondering what on earth they were hearing. And little did they know the band thought pretty much the same of them. There's also Wowie Zowie, which was popular with kids usually. It was also Little Richard's favorite Mothers of Invention song. It's the boy telling his girl that she's oh so neat and really sweet, and he doesn't even care if she shaves her legs or brushes her teeth or if her dad's the heat. Freak Out wasn't just an album. It was a gauntlet thrown at the feet of the music industry. Its influence was vast. It inspired Paul McCartney during the writing phase of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which came out the following year, proving that even the Beatles couldn't resist a good freak out. But the album's impact didn't stop there. It paved the way for experimental and concept albums, challenging artists to think beyond the 3-minute pop song. Without Freak Out, we may not have had The Who's Tommy or The Wall by Pink Floyd. So next time you're in the mood for a musical journey that's equal part thought-provoking and delightfully eccentric, drop the needle on Freak Out and let the Mothers of Invention take you on a ride. Just remember to keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. So if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.